I was exposed fairly well straight away as a financial counsellor to the exploits, and compared to other communities that I worked in, particularly in New South Wales, I was quite alarmed at the exploitation of door-to-door selling and the targeting of certain communities. I only had to look at people's bank statements to know direct debits or their Centre Pay or Centrelink statements, and seeing the amount of money going to basically products that are not needed, and the amount that they had to pay over a long period of time. So the impact that it had on these families was huge. You know, we in some examples it was up to 60 to 70% of their Centrelink payments. It's standoverish. It's like, I know more than you. And they do their research. They prey on knowing that Indigenous people find it hard to say no. And that's where they get their leeway, that's where they get their foot into the door. And for a lot of Aboriginal people, it's like, well, the only way I can get them out is to sign. I suppose what broke the camel's back was a particular company called Fair Dinkum Rentals. They hit Yarrabah and Hopevale, and they signed over 350 contracts worth around between $3,000 to $5,000 to pay off a fridge or a freezer that was probably worth between $300 to $600. We picked it up fairly early, and thanks to community members, they raised the alarm with ICANN, and we then raised those concerns to the Office of Fair Trading. We got those contracts rescinded fairly quickly, but within a very short period of time, within 3 weeks, there was over $1 million worth of contracts signed. Centrepay is the big ticket item for particularly consumer lease companies that do door-to-door selling. It's guaranteed money. It's very easy access. This was going back 5 years ago, so it was in 2012. And he was a New Zealander, and he would go out to Yarrabah and give people $50 in cash, but he would sign them up to Centrepay for Centrepay payments, and he would put that he was their landlord. Eventually he was pulled up, but the impact again, the amount of money, so we're talking about within a 2 or 3 month period, he collected over $150,000. The concept of the Do Not Knock campaign is, there's two focuses. One is the community buy-in and engagement, and that is critical. And hence that's why we have the community barbecues, and we bring the community in for that opportunity to have discussions, to put a face to a name, and talk about their experiences with door-to-door salespeople. The second one is it gives people that sense of security. The sign out the front it's a bit like having a security screen in your front door. It gives people that, the security to say, hey, did you read the sign? I know my rights. It also gives the traders a bit of a warning that we're watching. It's been a huge success. We started at Wodjil, a little community, Aboriginal community north of Cairns. It's about 120 k's north of Cairns. Again, accessed by roads and have been really exploited by door-to-door selling. And the community buy-in was fantastic. And we just thought, well, how great is this? Wouldn't it be great for other communities to have the opportunity? So hence we looked at Yarrabah, because Yarrabah was another community that was targeted heavily by door-to-door selling. And obviously it works well with the stickers, because then when you have the stickers on the letterbox or the front door, again, it's that the sense of security that I can say no, and I can tell them to turn around and walk away. So ICANN's had a long-standing relationship with ACCC, ASIC and the Queensland Office of Fair Trading, and we also have some very close relationships with the Ombudsman services as well, and we've had great success. I think the last report we had 18 cases presented at the task force and 6 went to litigation. More importantly, I think most recently, and a good example was the Chenick case with ASIC. To get witnesses in the court, and we're talking the Supreme Court, and it was a 5-year process. But for those 10 participants to go through the whole journey and make a massive impact, I think it's a big win for not only ASIC to have a precedence for that particular case, but I think so for the community to say, hey, we can do this.